Thank you, Mr. Talma, for taking the time to meet with me today.
Thank you.
I appreciate
No
it. So the observation that I want to review with you was the day that I came in and observed a science lesson in your class. And just before the science lesson had occurred, you were transitioning from rocket math, which I'd like to know, how is that going for you?
Rocket math. We have some scholars that are absolutely acing it, that are on the subtraction and are flying ahead, and we kind of have two groups. Those scholars are passing their levels just about every day, moving on, and then we have some scholars that are within the first few levels that need more support, and those are the scholars that are staying after during AE. So we have the kind of two poles, some that are doing really well and some that are still working on it. And I suppose, there is a middle. There's scholars that move up maybe once or twice a week, and then they're just not at the pace of the scholars that are way ahead.
So when you started rocket math, was it originally all just addition?
Yes, that's correct. It started, the first day started with only zeros and ones. So 0 plus 0, 1 plus 0, 0 plus 1, and 1 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got a little harder, it added 2s, and then added 3s. It moves up A team through I team, and then H and I team are vertical addition. Instead of seeing 1 plus 0, you see it written out with the line underneath.
What atoms does it go up to? Or what sums does it go up to?
What is the highest? I believe 7 is the highest.
7
I
to
believe
7?
5.
Okay.
Not positive about that. 5 plus 2. It would be easy enough to check, but I believe, 5 is the largest add-in, and then whether it gets like to 8 or 9, I'm not positive.
Okay, so something you could do after you hit all of your subtraction to enrich those scholars that are hitting it is you could even go up to higher sums to 10. Sums
So
to
create
15.
it myself rather than...
Yeah, there's math engines you can go on. I can send you some. I know, like Super Math Worksheet, like where you can type in the add-ins you want.
Oh, I actually have done
what
that
sums
for...
you want, and you could individualize.
I've done that for Davin and Liana and Alan Michael as extra when they get done with other work. I've had packets for them, so I know the sites.
So that would be a great thing to do.
Once
and
they're
then,
done. Dylan's actually getting pretty close to being all the way done.
And then those are struggling. You said you're working with them during AE and Saturday school. What seems to be like their biggest struggle?
Well, it's speed for a lot of them. They're so used to like putting it out on their fingers that when they have to go fast, they're not. Like Kaylee can do all of the addition and can do the subtraction when she focuses on the sign, but she's still on the very beginning because as soon as she sees it in front of her, or she's on B team, as soon as she sees it in front of her, she just writes numbers and then gets it done and flips it over.
Because she's just trying to do
right,
it
she's
quickly.
just trying to do it
So
quick.
probably what those kids need is flashcards, and I can send you a website also. There's websites that will generate flashcards as well, and you can have a set for them at school and a set for them at home. And so during restroom break or any transition time, they could be doing the flashcards, and then you can send those home as well.
Okay.
So I can send that to you. Okay. So, like I said, I was observing science, but when I came in, you were putting up stickers to track the scholar progress on the rocket math. And I could see that you have quite a few scholars that have mastered to I, so that's awesome. But as I was observing, I saw that 2 scholars became upset and were crying. One was Brandon, and I can't remember who the other scholar was. But
Zaria, maybe?
Maybe, but they were crying. And I remember Brandon, he was like, well, I didn't beat my level, and he was like really, really upset.
He was,
yeah. And I think that it's great to track progress, and I think it's fine to keep it up as a visual, but you might want to celebrate those celebrations at a different time, because I felt like it took away from your instruction, because it wasn't just 1 kid, but then it was 2, and then the other kids got sucked into it, because then they're like, oh, it's okay, and it like threw the instruction off.
Okay.
So I think moving forward, maybe we can think of another way to celebrate.
Okay. If I did the tracking before we go out for recess, would that work, or do you not want it at all during? If we're no longer doing instruction, I'm not sure.
Maybe later on in the year until they're more mature to celebrate, and maybe just going up to kids that did do well and say, hey, you did a great job. I'm really proud of you. But until the rest of your class is mature enough to handle not beating that time, I think just to keep instruction moving, it might be better just to hold off on that.
Okay.
I then had that scholars were instructed to sit and star and complete a worksheet that was passed out for scholars for the do now, which was to practice writing the numbers 1 to 20. And I liked how you you incorporated cross-curricular components, because I remember you were having them write numbers 1 to 20 as they're due now for science, but they were writing them inside of stars.
Yep, instead of signs, yeah.
And I remember you had made a comment about stars and had asked them questions about stars as they're working on their due now. So that was good because they need to be able to write numbers 1 to 20. So it was cross-curricular. That was really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. As they're writing, you narrated the positive, which you become really good at.
Good, thank you.
And you should be really proud of yourself because I can see the difference in your class climate.
Good, thank you.
Do you see it?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. Yes, I do. It's a lot better. There are still things, Brandon, with the emotional, it's still like something that I'm working on, that I'll still take advice on. But yes, it's definitely getting better.
But the level of compassion that your kids have for each other.
Yes, that part is very nice.
It's amazing. You should be proud of yourself. Let's see. Called the scholars to attention and then had them line up on a 3 count, which excellent job reinforcing that 3 count and having them do it again when it's not the way you want it. It's not as tight as you would like. You led the scholars in a transition chant as they moved from the carpet to transition for science. You then proceeded to take out the big book and read aloud a section about things in the sky that are close and far away. And after that, you had the scholars engage in an activity where they had to move around the room and identify close and far away.
Yes.
And so I think that was a really good job of incorporating different learning modalities into your instruction.
Oh, good, thanks.
What I'd like to do, even though this was what my observation was on, I have been coming in and also observing you with guided reading.
Yes.
Even though I didn't do an official observation in EWOC about guided reading, I did want to go over some strategies that I think would be helpful for you in guided reading.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay.
And
like I said,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say what we did today. Could be the first day with the new books, but you should finish whatever you're...
Do you want to show me first?
Sure. Well, I can just tell you, I saw that you wrote Picture Walk on there, and that was the first thing that we did today.
Good.
Kim Ballin has little boards with a spinner that she got as a
Is
prize.
Is it this?
Yeah, they're actually right
Okay,
there. I didn't
okay,
use.
awesome.
I used the other one.
Okay.
But it has a spinner, so I had first we read the title, we walked through, they looked at the pictures, made predictions, and then when they got to the end, I had each of them spin it, and then whatever it landed on, like the other one has questions like.
Oh, here is it.
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
So, like, what do you expect to learn? What does the cover tell you? Is it fiction or nonfiction, which reinforces the read aloud?
Excellent.
Who are the main characters? So everyone went through those today, and then we did the picture walk, and then everyone went through those questions today to get the overview, and then I did one echo read, but barely got through it because we were crunched with time.
Sure.
So, so then I would still like to know what would be the good progression for tomorrow. But
Sure.
we covered the basics of the introductions to the book today.
Well, I will say that I like these.
Yeah,
I really do like these because it makes the learning really fun and engaging for the kids, and it's almost like you're tricking them into learning.
Yep.
But these are great. So
yeah, those will just stay in there as long as Kim's okay with those.
I think that's a great idea. But yeah, so I was gonna say. Definitely the first day you want a picture walk, and it looks like you were already doing that, so that's wonderful. So you want to, again, just reinforce that, this is the way we hold our book. We open books in this direction. Yes. Put your finger on the title. This is the author. If there's an illustrator, if there's photographs, a photographer takes the pictures.
Sure.
Just walking through, like you said, making predictions. What do you think this book is going to be about? What is this telling us? And just kind of walking through and just having them make predictions and identifying the type of text it is. I think that's a great first day strategy for kinder. You had said echo read. I think what I might do first is just to build fluency is I would read it myself next.
Just normal? Okay.
Just
I mean,
almost like a read aloud kind of, but they follow along so they can hear the fluency.
Okay.
And that they can really get the gist of what's going on in the book.
Okay. So should I start with that tomorrow then, since I didn't do it today?
I would probably, yeah.
Okay.
Just so that they can hear what fluent reading sounds like.
Sure.
Remember we talked about this, and we know that this book is nonfiction, it has photos, and I'm going to read it to you now, I'm going to follow along.
Okay.
Then after that, then I would incorporate the echo read.
Okay.
And so, again, with echo read, making sure, like that one day when we sat down, have you been sitting in the U?
Yes. Well, the U or the circle? Is there...
Yeah, a U or circle.
I mean, I can switch it to a U. We just basically laid it out so that they could see the book. They keep picking them up. So I'm redirecting that a lot.
But you're sitting like in the middle
yes.
of it, right? So you can be like right there, like hands on.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, definitely
To make sure that they're pointing.
Like when I was in there that one time, like you have to make sure that everyone needs to put their finger into the first word.
Right. We restarted a couple times because of that.
Something fun that you might want to do, especially because Halloween just ended, is you can buy like witch fingers.
Okay.
Like from like the costume store,
Okay.
or like fake like girly like nail fingers.
Sure.
And I used to do that for my kids, and I would tell them it's time to put on your magic reading fingers, and they would get really excited, and so then they put their fingers on, and then that was a little bit more engaging in regard to having them be ready to put their pointer on. Also, you know, Miss Holt had those what's that movie, Despicable Me, with the little one eye?
I mean, I know what Despicable Me is. I'm not sure if that's...
oh goodness, what are they called? Popsicle sticks, and she put googly eyes on them.
Oh, okay.
And then the kids used those to track as well.
Oh, okay.
So if you can find a way to make tracking like fun and engaging, the kids will like that. But I would definitely do the echo read next. So I will read, you'll be my echo. So then I would make sure everyone has to have their finger on the first word. Okay, I'll read, you be my echo. So this little cat has spots, and then they go, this little cat has spots. Okay, so I want us to practice. Like I want you to pretend like you are the teacher, but pretend like I'm the kindergartner. Okay. And we're gonna echo read. So I want you to tell me what I need to do, and we're gonna practice. And I might not do what you tell me to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So show me where or point to the cover of the book. Yeah, right there. And then how do we open the book to the first page? Very good. Turn the next page over so we have the first page with pictures. Perfect. Can you point to the first? Here, you can use this as your pointer. Can you point to the first word for me? Oh, close. Start right at the very beginning. We always start at the left side of the page, all the way over. Perfect. So the first time, I am just going to read it to you, and you just have to follow along, and then you get to repeat right after me. So I'll read it first. Ready? And you're going to move, for each word that I read, you're going to just move to the next word with your pointer.
Okay, I want to say this. As you're explaining that to me, that's great, but you need to actually show them. So you have your book too, teacher.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should have my own book.
You should have your own book too, and you need to show and model for them exactly what you want. So let's try it again.
All right.
Here's your pointer.
Thank you. Okay, so let's point to the first word. Here you can see how I'm doing it. Then when I read, you're going to keep pointing to each word while I read it. So I'll read it first, and you repeat right after me. Ready?
Okay, so don't read it yet. I'm going to read, so now you show them exactly what you want. So you read it just on your own and point
and they don't even point?
So that they know exactly what you're talking about.
So watch me now. You don't need to point, just watch me. This little cat has spots. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to just follow along right as I do it, and then we'll read it together. So this time you're going to track the page too. Ready? This little cat has spots. Good. Back to the beginning, and this time you are going to read it. Get ready.
This little cat has spots.
Very good. Okay, next page. Point to the first word on the page. Good. My turn to read. You just track. This big cat. Oh, careful. And should I stop immediately or go to the end? Okay. Careful. Make sure that you're only pointing to one word at a time while I read it, okay?
But see, that's good. You're scanning. You have to be really cognizant of what your kids are doing, so you need to constantly be scanning. Because there'll be those Janiyas or whatever that you're just like, dude,
right, yeah,
like get back, and because they won't be focused. So you have to make sure that you're scanning constantly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's try it again. My turn first. I'm still just reading. You just follow along. This big cat has spots too. Your turn. Get ready.
This big cat has spots too.
Very good. All right, turn the next page. Find the very first word. Point to it with your pointer. Okay, now you're going to track each word while I read. My turn. Get ready. This little cat. Oh, careful. Make sure that you're tracking each word. All right, get ready again. It's my turn. This little cat has stripes. All right, your turn.
This little cat has stripes. And then you could also like ask, like as you're doing this, you could incorporate different questions like, how do I know that this word ends and a new word begins? Because there's spaces between the words.
Okay.
How do I know that this is stripe and not stripes? Because there's an S at the end. You know, you can ask different questions in regard to letter sounds because they're just learning their words. Or you could say, after you read it, which one of these words is a sight word?
Okay. Yep. I
Things
think
like
that would
that.
definitely be good with the high group for sure.
Yeah. So then after echo read, of course, you can do like the traditional like popcorn read where you just go in the row and everyone reads. But we'll try to stay away from that as much as possible because when you do that, then the kids know when it's their turn.
Mm-hmm. Would
So-
pop